I'm Teejay Sidhu and welcome to a very special episode of 9 Months. And with us today is who I would call one of India's hottest, fittest, coolest parents, TV and film personalities, Barkha and Indraneil Sengupta. Thank you so much, you guys, for being on the show.
Thank you.
I have to tell you that in our friends group, which you guys are part of, you have a daughter that's 6 years old, almost 7.
Yeah.
You're one of the first couples to have a child. Did you plan that?
Did we plan it?
Yeah, we
Because
did.
you're doing
We
so
did.
well in your career, and everyone thinks that I don't want to disturb my work, or I'll have to take time off, and I can't do it right now. And at that time, nobody that we knew was having children, and you guys did.
I know, it's really strange, but I don't know about his theory, but when I started doing my first show, strangely the producer of that show told me, he was an older man, like an old man, and he said that, Beta, just make sure that, whatever your career and everything, make sure you get married on time and have a baby on time. And I don't know why he said that to me, because he didn't know me and I was a heroine of his show. It was just something that kind of stuck to me. But also I think I come from a family where they believe that, okay, you're doing what you're doing, but you've got to marry on time and have a baby on time. And I think he somehow shared the similar thought process, and yeah. So we actually planned it. It wasn't like suddenly, oh, I'm pregnant. We actually planned it, and I quit work for a while, got pregnant, had the baby, and got back to work.
Was it a difficult transition to come back to work? Because I think that's what a lot of moms think about. It's always easier for the father. He can say, I'm going off to work, have fun at home.
There was a time when and it's in our industry especially, it's very difficult to get back to work after having a baby.
Because the stuff is to get back into shape firstly.
She got back into shape pretty fast.
You never got out of shape,
I
please.
did, trust me. But yeah, it took me a year.
It took some more time to get back to working. So she went through that phase when she started doubting that being a mother, when is it going to be as good as it was before? But then,
and whether I should or should not, because you have a baby, you're responsible for somebody's life, so you're thinking, oh my God, can I leave the child and go to work? But I think about after 1.5 years, he literally kicked me out of the house. He said, you need to start working.
she started bugging me.
He said, he said, you're a working woman, you need to start working. And I think the biggest thing is to deal with the guilt of leaving your child and going to work. And in our industry, they're very long hours of work.
Of course.
So that was a guilt that I kind of dealt with for the longest time, but he helped me get over it. I think at a point he said, okay, get over it. It's all right. You're a working woman. You're not able to give that much time to your child, but it's okay. Just get over it. So, yeah.
So it worked out. How much of a hands-on dad were you?
She always, in interviews, she usually mentions that I'm pretty hands-on, but I'll be very honest, I'm not. Okay, I have never been. So, I have changed Mira's diapers maybe twice.
Twice. Maybe no.
Twice.
Definitely.
Yeah,
only
definitely twice. And
with his mouth covered. Because he couldn't take the smell and all that.
Baby poo doesn't smell.
It's not that I can't do it. So I mean, when she wasn't around, if she wasn't around sometime, then I would do it. But which was twice in my life till now. But otherwise, I'm glad that she gave me I had a choice of doing it or not doing it. She never gave me the choice of, that whether I had to do it or not. But she handled everything.
How did you feel being a new dad?
I never prepared myself to be a dad. I never imagined how it would be. So quite a new experience, but I wasn't in a state of shock as such. I feel internally I accepted the fact that today I'm a dad and this is the baby, and it takes time to get used to that. But I was pretty in a good space.
How much time did it take you? Because we have children that are about 1.5 years, and we still can't get our head around it that we're parents.
No, she is still.
Still at times I look at Mira and I'm like, oh my God, is she really our child? I'm a mother, she's my baby. I feel that even today after almost 7 years. It's really strange.
7 years old.
So he somehow, I think, took
I started feeling I look like a father.
You don't.
He took to fatherhood, I think, a lot more easily than I did, which is really strange because I think women fall into motherhood like the most naturally.
Quickly.
So I did everything, but for the longest time I felt I was my daughter's caretaker and not the mother. So I was doing everything for her like a caretaker.
Exactly.
I mean, the love and all of that I think just grew you know, over the years and over each day. But initially it was like, I'm a caretaker, I'm taking care of her. That's it. I couldn't believe I was a mother.
Sometimes when you think about it, it's unbelievable.
One of the things that parents have to be very strict about with children is their eating. Has Mira ever been a fussy eater? And how do you deal with that?
Well, thankfully, Mira hasn't been a very fussy eater, but also I think since the time I was pregnant, I did not stick to the typical things that most of the women in our country, I think, are subjected to. You know, eat this, eat that, eat lots of ghee and the laddus and all of that. I did not eat any of that. Thankfully, I had a doctor who was she was just very normal, and she said just kind of keep it simple. So I didn't really do all of that. So thus when my child was born, again I got like a list of 10,000 things that I should be feeding my child, which I didn't. So I think from the beginning I tried to keep it healthy. So I think, you know, children will kind of get used to what they're eating if they're doing it from the beginning. So that's one thing that I did. In fact, I think one of the first things she tasted was zucchini soup.
Oh,
know.
wow,
So,
what
yeah,
a
and
palate.
it's, yeah, and it's not something that I really like, but I introduced her to something like that, you know,
And
that
she
was the
liked
first thing. And she had it, yeah, you know. So it was the first thing that she had besides milk.
Was she on cow's milk at that time or no?
I think I started that around the same time, yeah, 10 or 11 months she started cow's milk, yeah. So that's when she went off the top feed, and, you know, I introduced her to the zucchini soup and like normal milk, so yeah.
Was it a pediatrician that told you that cow's milk should be introduced to a baby, to a child?
Yeah, of course, my pediatrician told me that, you know, it is advisable, but they also say that once you give it to the child for the first time, you have to see if the child is able to digest it or not.
And she
Thankfully
was.
with Mira, she did not have any issues. So then I knew that 10, 11 months onwards, she was fine with it. So yeah.
Toddlers do have sensitive tummies, and mothers need to be careful when introducing various foods due to common food allergies, unless they love zucchini soup. And of course, they might have milk allergies. I have found that mother's dairy cow's milk is ideal. It's the safest non-allergic option since it's easy to digest because of its simple proteins. The small size casein micelles lead to higher hydration, and that helps in digestion. Also, the fact that homogenization breaks down fat globules into smaller sizes, it makes it easy for children to digest, and it's tastier also. So when we're talking about milk, did your daughter actually like drinking it? Because a lot of children don't.
Yeah, well, Mira loved milk. She was like, she would ask for milk like all the time. She would have like 5 to 6 bottles in a day, and she would want more, and I would have to cut that down. But yeah, she was very fond of milk. Until today, she has like just plain milk with no sugar and no flavors. She doesn't like anything. So we never introduced sugar to her with milk from the beginning. And since then, she's just got a thing for plain milk. So that's all she has.
I must emphasize the importance of cow's milk in a toddler's daily diet plan and its nutritional value for growth and development. You must ensure that you're feeding your toddler the right quality of cow milk also. Now, how much is the right amount to feed? My children love milk. They have it 4 times a day. So I say, if they love it, let them have it.
There's about the food habit, there's something I would like to add because I remembered suddenly.
Yeah.
You
That
remembered
we have
suddenly, please
completely kept her off aerated drinks till now. Aerated,
Yeah.
nothing aerated.
Milk was her go-to drink if she ever wanted
She has
something.
juices. Yeah, but no aerated.
So as parents, how do you make your home bacteria-free?
Well, I think one of the first and foremost things is to ensure cleanliness in the house. And the thing is that we have a dog in the house. And we've had a dog ever since Mira was born, so since before her, of course. So we've never kept her away from the dog, even though, you know, people say the dog hair and all
Yeah,
of that.
obviously it's not good.
We've never really kept her away from the dog. But besides that, yes, we've tried to just keep the house clean, made sure the cleaning is done properly, and more than once in a day, of course. It's a couple of times when she was very small, especially because they're crawling all over the floor. So
Yeah,
they're touching a lot of things. So yeah, sanitizing everything is very important. And he's like a little freaky, so he ensured.
Militant about sanitizing?
Yeah,
Not
so
right
he-
now, when she was very
One of
When
those
she was
parents, when you come
younger.
over, the first thing you do is give
Yes,
you
yes,
the
I used to
Yeah,
do
so
that,
we
yeah,
had
too.
a sanitizer in
Yeah.
every room. It was almost embarrassing because guests would have to enter and sanitize their hands first. And not even like the nice smelling ones, the actual medicated
The
ones that you
medicinal
have in the
ones,
hospitals.
ew.
Yeah, he kept them like everywhere, and I was like, okay, so yeah, that's what
He's
we
a
do.
dad. He can't help it. It happens. How do you ensure your surroundings are healthy?
Well, I think for a child, I think one of the most important things is, you know, the emotional health of a child. You know, I think other things come later. The emotional health is the most important thing. And considering the world that we're living in today, it's so fast-paced. And working parents, it's very difficult to be around your child all the time. But I think whenever we are, I think being able to tell your child that no matter what, we're always going to be there, we're always going to be there to support her. But besides that, the father here is a fitness freak. So our daughter's been into fitness ever since she was a kid, I think. She started gymnastics when she was 5 years old.
So it's all covered, her physical health, emotional health,
Absolutely.
health at home. That's terrific. You guys are doing a great job as parents. And you know, on a personal note, I have to add that after you had a baby, you know, a lot of people around you started thinking, wow, you know, you guys did it and you're managing it and you're happy about it. It's not like a child was an intrusion in your life, and you made it look easy, you made it look fun. And you made it happy, you know, and it actually it inspired us a lot too. So I don't know if I ever told you guys.
I hope it inspires a lot of people, because a lot of people believe that your life comes to a standstill when you have a baby, and what do you do, and you know, how do you go out, and how do you go on holidays, and you know, can you still have late nights? But we've done all of that. We still do. We still get like.
But things can always be
time.
worked around a baby, worked out around a baby. First thing, and second thing is the kind of fun you have when you have a baby is also something which you are deprived of if you don't have.
Yeah, it's unmatched.
So, you know,
Unmatched.
Yeah, so
it's something you don't know until you have it.
Yes.
Everybody says it, and it's so
yeah,
true.
really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just makes your life more beautiful.
it does.
That's what it comes down to. You can be young, successful, have a baby, and still be happy. You can have it all. That's what we've learned today from our episode with Barkha and Indraneil. Another thing we've learned from them is that to be a parent, you need to trust your way, because your instincts will tell you that is the right way. Thanks so much, you guys, for being on the show.
Thank you.